So the Las Vegas Aces have lost basically their entire team. Almost their entire team is gone.
What if I told you that Las Vegas Aces MVP AJA Wilson isn't just their star player but their biggest problem? A leaked interview is shaking the league, exposing deep issues within the championship team. The Aces are on the verge of collapse, and Wilson is at the center of the storm.
They've lost basically everyone. If we want to look at the Vegas Aces team from last year, who's still remaining? The MVP, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. That is it.
It wasn't a championship locker room, AJA Wilson admitted. But here's what's shocking. It's not just her words, it's what happened next. A mass exodus rocked the team, rewriting the future of the WNBA. One interview exposed the cracks in a dynasty on the brink of collapse. Want the full scoop on Wilson's words and the fallout? Let's dive in.
She got tired of Vegas. You know what? She wanted to get away from Becky Hammond and A'ja Wilson too, probably, dog. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's what it's looking like. A lot of these players is trying to get up out of there. Tiffany Hayes was the latest one yesterday. No, I believe somebody else left after her. Now, I think Alyssa Clark might be gone. But make no excuses about it, bruh. These women want to get away from Vegas.
Picture this. AJA Wilson, the WNBA's reigning MVP and two-time champion, sits down for what seems like a routine interview with a top Las Vegas journalist. At first, it's all smiles and championship memories. But then, something shifts. The energy in the room changes. Suddenly, Wilson drops a truth bomb so shocking it leaves everyone speechless. What was supposed to be a simple conversation turns into a revelation that shakes the league to its core. Get ready. This changes everything.
We are left with a shell of a roster right now. They have to fill out every other spot. They have a not top 5 roster in the W, and they have to fill out every other spot with minimum contract.
It wasn't a championship locker room, Wilson admits, her voice heavy with truth. Out the gate, going into training camp, I was like, we ain't got it. Can you believe it? The star of the seemingly unstoppable Las Vegas Aces just confessed that the team was doomed from the start. A revelation like this changes everything. What really went wrong behind the scenes?
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate, because that's how I get the best out of my team.
But that's not all. Wilson doesn't stop there. She spills on the tension, egos, and a team that just couldn't click. It's the kind of locker room drama that would put reality TV to shame. And here's where it gets really juicy. Wilson reveals she knew they weren't a championship team before the season even started. She even admitted to discussing it with fellow stars Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray, emphasizing that the team needs stronger leadership on and off the court next season. Calling out your own squad like that? That's a bold move, and it's shaking the WNBA.
I don't want to be great for you guys. No offense. But I want to be great for my team. I want to be great for this franchise. It is hard as shit. It is hard as shit, because there's tons of people that want to break you down. Great teams in this league that are going to try to come after you every single night. But when it comes to taking accountability, I have no problem in that, because I want to be great. I want to be great for my teammates. So yes, it can start in practice. Yes, it starts in training camp. Yes, it starts in the wins and the losses. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to challenge myself and my teammates every single day. Because when you're talking about greatness, it starts with consistency.
Remember Dawn Staley, Wilson's college coach? She taught Wilson a crucial lesson. Championship teams should look, sound, and feel a certain way. But according to Wilson, the Aces failed that test miserably. Their so-called leader just admitted they were never built to last. It was like trying to build a house of cards in a hurricane, doomed from the start. With this revelation, the cracks in the Aces dynasty are impossible to ignore.
You might be saying, oh, like if you want to win, why would you ever leave the Aces? Because the Aces aren't that good. Simple as that. The amount of people that are saying, oh, the Aces are like this absolute super team still. Oh, they got Jewel Lloyd. Wow, they got somebody who shoots 26% from 3 and 36% from the field, and he's like not struggling and unrivaled. For every good game, she has 2 bad games. Like, it's as simple as that. For every good Jewel Lloyd game, she has 2 bad games at this stage in her career.
As the interview continues, Wilson's frustration becomes clear. She recalls trying to fix things game after game, but nothing worked. I always told myself, every game, we're going to get there, we're going to check each box, but we didn't, she confesses. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You see disaster coming, but there's no stopping it. Wilson's words paint a picture of a team unraveling before her eyes.
It starts with me, and it's going to always be with me, because I have 11 other women in that locker room that I need to pull greatness out of. So that's where it goes from. If it's talking more, is it trying to fly on the court, is it being a defensive presence? I'm going to be that every single day for my team, because I want them to be great. Not just for rings and banners, because I know the potential that we have in our locker room. So,
speaking of car crashes, let's talk about that brutal semifinal loss to the New York Liberty. Wilson reflects on the game, saying, "You're constantly in the moment, thinking about how to get better and what more you can do for your team." But here's the reality. None of that thinking translated into action. The Aces' key players combined for just 28 points in a must-win game.
Talk about dropping the ball when it mattered most.
But wait, there's more. Wilson, in her so-called leadership, shares her take on addressing locker room issues. It's going to get nipped in the bud when we feel it. Oh really, AJA? Because from the outside, it looks like those issues weren't just ignored. They grew into a full-blown forest. While Wilson and the Aces were feeling the problems, they spiraled out of control, leading to the very downfall she's now speaking out about.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that, because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
As the interview winds down, Wilson tries to soften the impact of her brutal honesty. "I love my teammates so much," she says, her voice filled with emotion. But let's be real, after everything she's just exposed, those words feel as hollow as the Aces trophy case is about to be. The interview ends, but the damage is done. Wilson's words linger, a confession that explains everything. The exodus of players, the collapse of a dynasty, the fall of the mighty Aces. It all traces back to this moment, to these revelations that paint a picture of a fractured locker room. The cracks weren't new, they had been growing all season.
Now, the truth is finally out.
Oh, I mean, Becky Hammond, you were right. Congratulations, but did you really think it would be this different, a roster?
Wilson's words didn't just linger, they ignited a mass exodus. Remember when the Aces were the dream team, the destination for veterans willing to take minimum deals just to win a ring?
That dream has become a nightmare.
Now, instead of players lining up to join, they can't wait to leave. The once unbreakable dynasty is crumbling, and Wilson's revelations might be the final nail in the coffin.
The Las Vegas Aces are looking a whole lot lighter after some of these trades and free agency signings that have happened, and guys, it's leaving the bench to look a little sparse.
The Aces roster, once the envy of the league, is crumbling faster than a sandcastle washed away by the tide. One by one, key players are packing their bags and heading for the exits.
But why?
Is it just bad luck? Or is there a deeper issue at play?
Let's break it down.
It all started with Kate Martin, a fan favorite and rising star. The Aces shockingly left her unprotected in the expansion draft, and faster than you can say jackpot, the Golden State Valkyrie snatched her up. It was a major loss, leaving fans stunned and questioning what's really going on behind the scenes.
Martin blows by Griner, 2 more for Aces, and the lead is 10.
But that was just the beginning. Next up, Kelsey Plum, the sharpshooter who averaged 16 points per game last season. Instead of running it back with the Aces, she traded in her jersey for Sparks purple and gold. The Aces got Jewel Lloyd in return, but let's be real, Lloyd is older and less efficient.
It's like swapping a sports car for a minivan.
Then there's Tiffany Hayes, the 6th player of the year. You'd think winning an award like that would make her want to stay, right?
Wrong.
Instead of another season in Vegas, Hayes decided the upstart Valkyries were a better fit. Last season, she put up 9.5 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game, numbers the Aces will sorely miss. And let's be honest, in San Francisco, those stats are only going up. The Aces went from a dream destination to a team players are running from. What happened?
Me and Kate and me, we're as great as we can be. Me and Kate and me, we're as great as we can be.
But wait, there's more. Alicia Clark, a key piece of the Aces' success, chose to return to the Seattle Storm, where she previously won 2 championships. It's as if she took one look at the Aces and thought, Nah, I'd rather go back to my old team. Another veteran gone. Another crack in the Aces foundation.
Let's start with Alicia Clark. According to Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, the Aces wanted to bring back Alicia Clark. But when Seattle came a-knocking, Alicia was like, you know what? I would love to go back to my WNBA home, which is Seattle. Now, guys, if y'all don't know, Alicia Clark won 2 titles with the Seattle Storm in 2018 and 2020, and now at 37 years old, she is looking to bring her 3-and-D game back to Seattle.
And let's not forget Sydney Coulson, widely known as Wilson's best friend. You'd think that bond would keep her in Vegas, right? Nope. Coulson packed her bags and headed to the Indiana Fever, further depleting the Aces roster. Talk about a friendship breakup. When even your closest ally decides to leave, you know something's off.
Yesterday, the Indiana Fever let it be known that Sid pretty much is officially signed, man. She officially signed. She spoke with reporters, let everybody know why she has decided to join the Indiana Fever.
Here's the truth. These aren't just any players leaving. Nearly half of the Aces' scoring output is walking out the door. It's like a magic trick, but instead of pulling rabbits out of a hat, the Aces are making their star players disappear. With each departure, you can almost hear Wilson's interview playing in the background. When asked about Kelsey Plum leaving, she said, "In the locker room, she was always someone that spoke her mind. You need that honesty. We're definitely going to miss her." Looking back, it's starting to sound less like a farewell to Plum and more like a eulogy for the entire team.